Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtavrayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila chapter 13, the ecstatic dancing of the Lord at Rath Yatra, text 112 onwards. So Rath Yatra is going on and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing ecstatically, and it is a Tandav Nritya and doing over there and undergoing all sorts of ecstatic transformations. तांडव नृत्य छाड़ी स्वरूपेर आज्ञा दीला हृदय जानिया स्वरूपेर गायते लागीला. After abandoning the dancing, the Lord ordered Swarup Damodar to sing. Understanding his mind, Swarup Damodar began to sing as follows. सही ते प्राण नाथ पाइनु यहाँ लागी मदन दहने झूरी गेनु. Now I have gained the Lord of my life, in the absence of whom I was being burned by Cupid and was withering away. So this song refers to Srimati Radharani's meeting with Krishna at the holy place of Kurukshetra, where Lord Shri Krishna and his brother and sister came to visit when there was a solar eclipse. It is a song of separation from Krishna. When Radharani met Krishna at Kurukshetra, she remembered his intimate association in Vrindavan, and she thought, now I have gained the Lord of my life. In his absence, I was being burned by the arrow of Cupid, and thus I was withering away. Now I have my life again. So, after such a long separation from Krishna, when she met him at Kurukshetra, this was her mood. And this is the same mood Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is expressing, or Swarup Damodar is expressing, understanding the mind of Mahaprabhu, at Rath Yatra in Jagannath Puri. Ei dhuye ucche sware gaye Damodar, Anande madhur nritya kare nishwara. When this refrain was loudly sung by Swarup Damodar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again began rhythmically dancing in transcendental bliss. धीरे धीरे जगन्नाथ करे न गमान आगे नित्य करी चालें शचीर नंदन. The car of Lord Jagannath began to move slowly while the son of Mother Shachi went ahead and danced in front. जगन्नाथ नेत्र दिया सबे नाच गाए कीर्तनिया सह प्रभु पाछे पाछे जाए. While dancing and singing, all the devotees in front of Lord Jagannath kept their eyes on him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the end of the procession with the Sankirtan performance. Jagannathe Magna Prabhur Nayan Hriday Shri Hasta Yuge Kare Gitera Abhinay. His eyes and mind fully absorbed in Lord Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to play the drama of the song with his two arms. Play the drama of the song means he was enacting what he was feeling inside, or what Radharani was feeling when she saw Krishna. Gaur yadi pache chale shyam hai sthire, gaur aage chale shyam chale dheere dheere. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dramatically enacting the song, he would sometimes fall behind in the procession. At such times, Lord Jagannath would come to a standstill. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again went forward, Lord Jagannath's car would slowly start again. Ei mat gaura shame lohe thela theli, swara the shamere rakhe gaura mahabali. Thus there was a sort of competition between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannath in seeing who would lead. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strong that he made Lord Jagannath wait in his car. So when Mahaprabhu would go in the back, Jagannath would stop, his car would stop. Jagannath ji wouldn't see Mahaprabhu, and then he would be in separation, he would stop the car. In his Anubhashya, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur describes the ecstasy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as follows. After giving up the company of the gopis in Vrindavan, Sri Krishna, the son of Maharaj Nanda, engaged in his pastimes at Dwarka. When Krishna went to Kurukshetra with his brother and sister and others from Dwarka, he again met the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Bhava Dyuti Subalita. That is, Krishna himself assuming the part of Radharani in order to understand Krishna. Lord Jagannath Dev is Krishna and Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Srimati Radharani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's leading Lord Jagannath towards the Gundicha temple corresponded to Srimati Radharani's leading Krishna towards Vrindavan. Sri Kshetra Jagannath Puri was taken as the kingdom of Dwarka, the place where Krishna enjoys supreme opulence. But he was being led by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Vrindavan, the simple village where all the inhabitants are filled with ecstatic love for Krishna. Shri Kshetra is a place of Aishwarya Lila, just as Vrindavan is a place of Madhya Lila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's following at the rear of the Rath indicated that Lord Jagannath, Krishna, was forgetting the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Although Krishna neglected the inhabitants of Vrindavan, he could not forget them. Thus, in his opulent Rath Yatra, he was returning to Vrindavan. In the role of Srimati Radharani, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was examining whether the Lord still remembered the inhabitants of Vrindavan. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell behind the Rath car, Jagannath Dev, Krishna himself, understood the mind of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, Jagannath sometimes fell behind the dancing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to indicate to Srimati Radharani that he had not forgotten. Thus, Lord Jagannath would stop the forward march of the Rath and wait at a standstill. In this way, Lord Jagannath agreed that without the ecstasy of Srimati Radharani, he could not feel satisfied. While Jagannath was thus waiting, Gaur Sundar Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his ecstasy of Srimati Radharani, immediately came forward to Krishna. At such times, Lord Jagannath would proceed ahead very slowly. These competitive exchanges were all part of the loving affair between Krishna and Srimati Radharani. In that competition between Lord Chaitanya's ecstasy for Jagannath and Jagannath's ecstasy for Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emerged successful. So, this is amazing pastime going on between Mahaprabhu and Jagannath. And only a few could understand this, what was going on. Nachite nachite Prabhu Haila Bhavantar Hastatuli Shloka Pade Kari Uchchaishwara. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing, his ecstasy changed. Raising his two arms, he began to recite the following words in a loud voice. Yah Komara Harasa Eva hi Varasata Eva Charitrakshapas Te cha unmilita malati surabhya proda kadambanila Sa cha vasmi tathapi tatra surata Vyapra Lila Vidho Reva Rodhasi Vetasi Tarutale Cheta Samutkantate. That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of Malti flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vetasi tree. That is my desire. So this verse appears in Padyavali by Rupa Goswami. Ei shlokam Mahaprabhu pade bar bar Swarupa vina artha keha na jane ihara. This verse was recited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again. But for Swarup Damodar, no one could understand its meaning. এই শ্লোকার্থ পূর্বে করি আছি ব্যাখ্যান শ্লোকের ভাবার্থ করি সংক্ষেপে আখ্যান. I have already explained this verse. Now I shall simply describe it in brief. So it was explained in chapter 1 of Madhya Lila. पूर्वे यायचे कुरुक्षेत्र सब गोपीगण कृष्णेर दर्शन पाया आनंदितमान. Formerly, all the gopis of Vrindavan was very pleased when they met with Krishna in the holy place Kurukshetra. जगन्नाथ देखी प्रभु से भाव ठीला sei bhava vishtahaya dhuya gayoila. Similarly, after seeing Lord Jagannath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awoke with the ecstasy of the gopis. Being absorbed in this ecstasy, he asked Swarup Damodar to sing the refrain. Avasheshe Radha Krishna kare nivedana, sei tumi sei ami sei nav sangam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke thus to Lord Jagannath, you are the same Krishna and I am the same Radharani. We are meeting again in the same way that we met in the beginning of our lives. Tathapi amar man hare vrindavan, vrindavane uday karao apana charan. Although we are both the same, my mind is still attracted to Vrindavan. I wish that you will please again appear with your lotus feet in Vrindavan. Iha lokaranya hati ghoda ratha dhvani, taha pushparanya bringa pikanada suni. In Kurukshetra, there are crowds of people, elephants and horses, and also the rattling of chariots. But in Vrindavan, there are flower gardens, and the humming of the bees and chirping of the birds can be heard. Iha Raja Vesha Sange Sabha Kshatriya Gana, Taha Gopa Vesha Sange Murali Vadan. Here at Kurukshetra, you're dressed like a royal prince, accompanied by great warriors. But in Vrindavan, you appear just like an ordinary cowherd boy, accompanied only by a beautiful flute. So that's what Radharani wanted to see him as a cowherd boy, not as a king or a prince. Vraja tomar sange jai sukha aswadana, sei sukha samudrera iha nahi ek kam. Here there is not even a drop of the ocean of transcendental happiness that I enjoyed with you in Vrindavan. Amalaya puna lila kara Vrindavane, tabe amar mano vancha hayeta purane. I therefore request you to come to Vrindavan and enjoy pastimes with me. If you do so, my ambition will be fulfilled. Bhagavate ache yache radhika vachan, purve taha sutra madhye kariyachi varnam. I have already described in brief Srimati Radharani's statement from Srimad Bhagavatam. Sei bhava veshe prabhu pade are shloka, sei sab shloke artha nahi bujhe loka. In that ecstatic mood, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited many of the verses, but people in general could not understand their meaning. Swarupa Gosai janena kahe artha taran, Shri Rupa Gosai kaila se artha prachar. The meaning of those verses was known to Swarup Damodar Goswami, but he did not reveal it. However, Shri Rupa Goswami has broadcast the meaning. So that happened some other year. Sarup sange jar arth kare aswadana, nitya madhya sei shloka kare na pathan. While dancing, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to recite the following verse, which he tasted in the association of Swarup Damodar Goswami. Ahushchate nalina nabha padarvindam, yogeshwarera hridi vichintayam agada bodha. Sansara kupa patitotaram avalambam, yeham jushamapi manasi udiyasala. The gopis spoke thus, dear Lord, whose navel is just like a lotus flower, Your lotus feet are the only shelter for those who have fallen into the deep well of material existence. Your feet are worshipped and meditated upon by great mystic yogis and highly learned philosophers. We wish that these lotus feet may also be awakened within our hearts, although we are only ordinary persons engaged in household affairs. So this is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam. The gopis were never interested in karma yoga, jnana yoga, or dhyana yoga. They were simply interested in bhakti yoga. So unless they were forced, they never liked to meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord. Rather, they preferred to take the lotus feet of the Lord and place them on their breasts. Sometimes they regretted that their breasts were so hard, fearing that Krishna might not be very pleased to keep his soft lotus feet there. When those lotus feet were pricked by the grains of sand in Vrindavan pasturing ground, the gopis were pained and began to cry. The gopis wanted to keep Krishna at home always, and in this way, their minds were absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So such pure Krishna consciousness can arise only in Vrindavan. Thus Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to explain his own mind, which was saturated in the ecstasy of the gopis. So this is the mood of the gopis, and Mahaprabhu himself said this is the highest form of devotion service. अनेर हृदय मन मोर मन वृंदावन मने वने एक करी जानी ताहा तोमार पद द्वय करा यदि उदय तबे तोमार पूर्ण कृपा मानी. Speaking in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, for most people the mind and heart are one, but because my mind is never separated from Vrindavan, I consider my mind and Vrindavan to be one. My mind is already Vrindavan, and since you like Vrindavan, will you please place your lotus feet there? I would deem that your full mercy. The mind's activities are thinking, feeling, and willing, and by which the mind accepts materially favorable things and rejects the unfavorable. This is the consciousness of people in general. But when one's mind does not accept and reject, but simply becomes fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna, then one's mind becomes as good as Vrindavan. Wherever Krishna is, there also are Srimati Radharani, the gopis, the cowherd boys, and all the other inhabitants of Vrindavan. Thus, as soon as one fixes Krishna in his mind becomes identical with Vrindavan. In other words, when one's mind is completely free from all material desires and is engaged only in the service of the Supreme Personality of God, then one always lives in Vrindavan and nowhere else. So when one's mind is completely free from all material desires and is engaged only in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then one always lives in Vrindavan and nowhere else. Means even if physically one could be outside Vrindavan, outside India, just like Prabhupada said, I'm in New York, but I'm always in Vrindavan. Because in his mind, in his heart, he was always there. Prananath Shunnamora Satya Nivedan Vraja Amar Sadantaha Tomara Sangam Na Paile Na Rahe Jivan. My dear Lord, kindly hear my true submission. My home is Vrindavan, and I wish your association there. But if I do not get it, then it will be very difficult for me to keep my life. Only when the mind is free from designations can one desire the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So free from designations means Sarvapadi Viniramaktam. Designations. I'm man, I'm woman, I'm Indian, I'm American, I'm engineer, I'm doctor, I'm this or that. All these designations are external. Only one designation. I'm a servant of Krishna. The mind must have some occupation. If a person is to be free of material things, his mind cannot be vacant. There must be subject matters for thinking, feeling, and willing. Unless one's mind is filled with thoughts of Krishna, feelings for Krishna, and a desire to serve Krishna, the mind will be filled with material activities. So mind has to have some desires. It cannot be vacant, it cannot be empty. So until we are desiring for Krishna, we will be desiring for sense gratification, material activity. Those who have given up all material activities and have ceased thinking of them, they should always retain the ambition to think of Krishna. Without Krishna, one cannot live, just as a person cannot live without some enjoyment for his mind. So that should be our goal, our aim. So the only thing is slowly we are moving towards that. पूर्वे उद्धव द्वारे वे साक्षात हमारे योग ज्ञाने कहिला उपाय तुम्ही विदग्ध कृपामय जाना अमर हृदय मोरे आचे कहिते न जुयाय. My dear Krishna, formerly when you were staying in Mathura, you sent Uddhav to teach me speculative knowledge and mystic yoga. Now you yourself are speaking the same thing, but my mind does not accept it. There is no place in my mind for Jnana Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. Although you know me very well, you're still instructing me in Jnana Yoga and Dhyana Yoga. It is not right for you to do so. The process of mystic yoga, the speculative method for searching out the supreme absolute truth, does not appeal to one who is always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. A devotee is not at all interested in speculative activities. Instead of cultivating speculative knowledge or practicing mystic yoga, a devotee should worship the deity in the temple and continuously engage in the Lord's service. Temple deity worship is realized by the devotees to the same as direct service to the Lord. The deity is known as the Archa Vigraha or Archa Avatar, an incarnation of the Supreme Lord in the form of a material manifestation, whether brass, stone, or wood. Ultimately, there is no difference between Krishna manifest in matter or Krishna manifest in spirit, because both are his energies. For Krishna, there is no distinction between matter and spirit. His manifestation in material form, therefore, is as good as his original form, Satchidananda Vigraha. A devotee constantly engaged in deity worship according to the rules and regulations laid down in the Shastras and given by the spiritual master, realizes gradually that he is in direct contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, he loses all interest in so-called meditation, yoga practice, and mental speculation. So, Prabhupada gives nice purport here, saying deity worship is same as serving Krishna directly. Directly. Deity is non-different. So same thing, look at Lord Ram's deity installation in Ayodhya, and so many wonderful things are happening. Lord Ram is really pleased, and he has come to give mercy, to give his mercy to everybody. Whoever participated, whoever is doing service, whoever is talking about him, glorifying him in any way, he is Anant and his service is Anant. So similarly, Krishna, so many temples all over the world. He's there, Jagannathji is there. They're just giving us a chance to serve him, serve them and in the process we get purified. We get the mercy. But those who don't, whether they want to commit an offense against the deities or whether it takes an atheistic viewpoint, then their life is doomed, actually. Anyway, so we can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. Okay, you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.